Hey everybody, it's Chris here, and this is Magic 101, Volume 2. I want to thank everybody at Gamut and Clark and Melissa for giving me the opportunity to hang out with you all today. And if you remember, we left off talking about some quintessential English-speaking texts that helped pave the way for modern performers. And were influential to people such as myself. So we left off after talking about close-up magic. Close-up magic is, it's different than parlor magic or stage magic in the sense that it's a very one-on-one experience with yourself as the performer and the spectator. There can be a small audience around too, but commonly you'll see somebody say, "Will you come up to stage?" and they'll sit them down, one on each side, or even just approach somebody. And when you do magic one-on-one, that tends to be close-up magic. That's how most magic was mostly in the 80s. If you were doing something sleight of hand based, usually the larger things like stage illusions were still happening, the Vegas style stage illusions. But anything close up or anything sleight of hand based rather is going to be something more close up for the most part. There's exceptions, obviously. And then in the 90s, a gentleman named David Blaine made popular another art form of magic, which is street magic. Now, it's been going on before that. There's gentlemen like Jeff Sheridan who would do it in Central Park in New York back in the early 80s and late 70s. And it was definitely something that people had done. A lot of the time, what they did was called busking, where you would set up a temporary stage or just a table that you could work from and allow passersby. You'd gather a crowd and entertain passersby, and usually, send your hat around or a bucket around for tips after the performance. Street magic, in the sense that was changed in the late 90s, was focusing on the spectators more than the actual magician themselves. So in this case, David Blaine would approach a spectator on the street randomly, do one effect for them, and then the camera focused on the spectator and how they reacted. And it got big reactions, and it kind of changed the face of magic in a way. Some good ways and some bad ways. Some good ways were that we could realize that magic was not bound, even close-up sleight of hand magic was not bound by the confines of sitting behind a preset staged area. You're sitting there, I'm sitting here, and I'm here to do magic. It can be very normal person, hey, do you want to see something cool? And you do something neat. Bad things were that we realized that some realized that all they were going for was big reactions. So I could do anything and get a big reaction, and that doesn't necessarily make a big reaction magic, right? So just because I get somebody to freak out and run away and say, "That's crazy, that's insane," does not necessarily mean it's a good magic trick or that it's a good magic moment. But that is still prevalent today, and a lot of the magic that we see created in the last maybe 20 years was garnering towards a more impromptu, spur of the moment street magician, or somebody that can approach somebody in a bar, a restaurant, a cafe, a cafeteria, or at work, or their friends. And it kind of got rid of a stage scenario, even if it's something as informal as just, just a little close-up informal area. And that's kind of where we're at right now. Now, things have taken off with YouTube and Instagram and TikTok, things like that, where things may look magical and they can't be replicated in person. Some things can be, but they're more impressive if it's done in a digital medium. Again, at the end of the day, magic is kind of defined by the person that receives it, but it's designed by the person that creates it, right? So we design it as the magicians, and they define it. And what I might do, I think, is amazing and crazy and cool and going to be very well received, and you very well may find it boring. Or what I do may think is boring and hackneyed, and you might find it the most amazing thing you've ever seen in your whole life. Make you question everything. So we design it, they define it. So that's where we're at with magic right now. There's some great outlets of catching live magic. Not so much right in this time frame, but normally Las Vegas is huge, Atlantic City, LA LA, New York, of course, Chicago. Those are where people are gravitating towards the performers. Of course, you know, in the UK, Spain, Italy. But in America, it's mostly those big cities. Then there's TV, right? Penn and Teller, Penn Jillette and Raymond Teller have a TV show called Penn and Teller Fool Us. And the premise is somebody gets up, a magician gets up, performs one trick, and they call upon their years of knowledge in the industry and years of knowledge of some of their friends in the industry and try to figure out how you did it. And if they can't figure it out, you get a trophy that designates that you fooled them. And then you get to open a show or headline a show with them in their theater in Las Vegas. So there's lots of cool ways. A lot of people learn on YouTube. They watch on YouTube, Instagram, like I said, TikTok, things like that. So there's lots of different outlets. But I did promise that I would show you how. You have to excuse this glare. It's from the window. I did promise that I would show you how to perform a magic trick. Now, the first rule of a magician is you never tell the secret. Second rule is you never repeat a trick twice. First time you show it, it's magic. The second time you show it, it's a puzzle that they're trying to figure out. So it's not really fair to the effect any longer. You know, the prestige has been shown, and therefore they know what to expect. Now they're just looking for the different angles. So that first rule, though, I want to talk about is a really important rule. Kind of got a little bit of heat when I told people that I was going to be teaching on a public forum, such as Facebook, to non-magicians how to perform a magic trick. But certain things are in public domain. Now, here's the thing. There's some things out there that are hundreds of years old. There's an effect or a technique that was first published in 1876 by a man named Professor Hoffman in a book called Modern Magic that we still use every day. I mean, I use it every time I perform a trick. Is it closely guarded? It's hard to say. I don't make a living off of it. It's not necessarily mine to teach, but it's also not anybody else's. It's kind of public domain. It's innocent enough that if you did this, it wouldn't tip a lot of other tricks that magicians do to the point where they might feel like you're ruining their, their mystique or what have you. It's a very innocent trick, very innocent technique, and I'm going to show it to you right now. So, you're not going to be able to see every card, and you're going to have to trust me a little bit on this. If I wanted to cheat, I would, okay? And I would make it look amazing. I would, if I wanted to use marked cards or if I wanted to peek at something that I'm going to show you in the camera, I would. But that's not the point. I'm not trying to fool you right now. I'm not trying to trick you right now. I'm trying to explain. And since I don't have a spectator here to use, we're limited in the way that we're going to be able to do this example. But I hope through the conversation of it, you'll understand its strength and its power. You just got to promise me that if you are going to try this, if you are going to do it, just like anything, practice it just a little bit. The reason being, the worst kind of tutorial is one where somebody didn't mean to teach something and they just did it badly. So if I don't know what I'm doing and I try to do it and you see what I did because I was bad at it, now I just taught everybody. I ruined the magic for them. I ruined the magic for me. And I ruined the magic for anybody that does that kind of trick, because now we have 30 or 40 people in the audience or around your friends or whatever that now know how it's done. And so what I'm going to teach you, it can be a bar bet. It can be a friendly wager between friends. It can be something you do at work or at school. It could be something funny and cheeky and, kind of off the cuff. Or it can be turned into a truly, truly magical moment. And it's hard to describe, so I'll just show you what we're doing. Essentially, the effect is this. Again, not everybody can do this beautiful fan, I get that. But you arrange the cards and allow them to choose one, okay? They choose a card. They look at the card, okay? You square up the cards. I'm going to show it to you guys. I literally am not looking. I don't even know if it's in frame, so I'm just moving it around so you guys can see it. So I assume you're seeing a card. Yep. I really hope you saw that. I have no idea because I wasn't even looking at the frame. Okay? Now, you have the spectators cut the cards. They place their card inside, and you just lose their card in the center. Now, it really is lost. There's no breaks. It's not sleight of hand. We're not doing sleight of hand. I'm not going to try to teach you advanced sleight of hand, because even basic sleight of hand is advanced for somebody that never learned it before. So, this is the effect, okay? In a second, I'll show you different ways that you can do this. But it can be a wager. For instance, you can state that you don't want them to say anything. Just have the card that they saw in their mind, okay? Think about it. Picture it. Yeah, let's do this. We're going to go through every single card, okay? And as I do, I want you to look at that card. Don't say anything. What I'm going to do is I'm going to read your micro expressions. You know, the little lip quiver or your eyes movement or breath. If you tense up, kind of like a polygraph. And I want you to just look at every single card as I go by. Okay? Every single card, don't say anything. In fact, I'm not going to really look at the cards. I'm just going to look at you and try to gauge your responses. Now, this might make people laugh. They might actually start showing signs, giggling, or it depends on how good of a liar or actor or, you know, being able to hide their emotions with a poker face they are. You just go all the way through until you get a feeling, okay? All the way through. Now, they may or may not have seen their card yet. I don't know what their card is. But you say, I bet you the next card I turn over is your card. They'll take the bet because the chances of them seeing their card in this pile already happened. Their card already passed. And that's when you, the magician, reach into the deck, pull one card out, and turn it upside down. You turned the next card over, and it was their card. Right, so what are we doing in this, okay? And I really hope that was yours. Actually, I have to watch this back, but I'm pretty sure I nailed it. What are we doing with this, okay? Do I know, let's ask some questions. Do I know what the card is ahead of time? Absolutely not. I did not force the 2 of clubs on you. I didn't force anything on you. It's free choice. So when I'm spreading the cards, or when I have them pick them out of my hands, or they just reach in and grab one, it's completely random. 100% random, okay? This time the random card is going to be the, what is that? The King of Hearts, okay? That's the one, okay? Do they really cut the cards? Yes, they really cut the cards. They stick that card in. Do they really complete the cut? Absolutely. Okay? Now it's kind of different because I know what the card is, right? And I know kind of about where it's at. But that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The only thing I do know for sure, and I'll shuffle now because we're not going to complete that phase of the trick. The only thing I do know for sure, I only need one piece of information to make this trick, and maybe 5 other tricks that I'll show you after this, or 4 other tricks after this, to happen. The only thing I need to know about anything is the bottom card, okay? So in this case, it's the 7 of Hearts. That's all I need to know. I can find that out multiple ways when I take a deck out. If they take a deck out, if it's their deck, whatever. You can have them shuffle. A lot of people will shuffle like this, okay? And then they'll do this, and then they'll square it up. Now, look, I got a glimpse of the bottom card. Or they hand it to you, and you can shuffle any way you like this, right? A lot of people shuffle like that, regular new people to cards, and you see that bottom card. In this case, it's now a 2 of Hearts. You don't show them that you're looking. You don't show them the bottom card as if it's a move, because it's not a move. It's nothing. You're not performing a sleight. You're just glimpsing. Another good way is when you're taking a deck out of its pack. Say they give you, oh, I noticed you have a deck of cards. Can I show you a trick? Or you carry your own. When you open it, you can open it and see the bottom card. That's a 2 of Hearts, okay? Look, I want you to pick any card, okay? They choose their card. You guys can see it. I don't know if you can, blah, blah, blah. Now, they cut the cards and stick the card back in, and then you complete the cut putting your key card. This is called the key card principle. The reason it's called a key card is because you're using this card as the key to unlock the secret of what the card is next to it, right? So, your key card is the 2 of Hearts. So when you drop it in, now the 2 of Hearts is on top of whatever their card is. You don't need to know what their card is. You won't know what their card is until you see your key card. Now, there's multiple things you can do with that. The way we did it, just now as we deal through all the way, and all I'm doing is I'm looking for the 2 of hearts, okay? I don't change my pace or my rhythm or anything. I just keep going and I look for the 2 of hearts. When I see that 2 of hearts, I know that the card right next to it, 5 of spades, is your card. For the trick that we just did, I now know that their card is the 5 of spades, but I keep going. I keep going. I keep going. I keep going. This is where a little bit of acting comes in, because when I get the sense, I stop and I peek at this card. That's the little, it's not even misdirection, it's really just trying to catch them out. I look at this card and say, I'll bet you a drink, I'll bet you $1, I'll bet you whatever. The next card I turn over is your card. Well, they already saw their card. They saw the 5 of spades, so they know that there's no way this card is theirs. But you also never say, I bet you that this card is your card. You don't say that, because it's not. You just give a little bit of, a suggestion that this is the card you're going to turn over. When you say, I bet the next card I turn over is your card. They take the bet, assuming you're going to turn over this card. Then you reach into the pile and turn over their card. It's funny. It's harmless. You're not making them feel like a jerk or a fool or anything like that, because you're not hurting their feelings and look, you're dumb, you didn't know. You really fooled them. It's playful. That's the bar bet whimsical thing you can do with a key card. There's some real magic you can do with a key card as well. Say somebody pulls out another card. They look at it. Yep. I don't know if you guys can see it, because I'm just moving it like this way because the glare, maybe it does hit, maybe it doesn't. I don't know. Hopefully you saw something. If not, you'll understand what I'm doing. Same thing. You have them cut the cards. You throw it in, and it goes in, just like that. Now, I can do a couple different things. In this, it's like jazz. Now I know the card next to it is their card, the card next to the key card. I can spread through and say, look, 52 different cards. Your card is 1, okay? I don't know what your card is, and that's true. But I'm looking for the ace of spades. That's the key card for me. Right next to the ace of spades is the 4 of diamonds, hoping the card that you saw. So I now know, just by spreading this and saying there's 52 different cards, maybe there's even a joker in here. All that is giving me an opportunity to look at these cards. And when I look at these cards, I see my ace of spades, I see the card right next to it, the 4 of diamonds, the 4 of diamonds, and now I know their card. So, all different cards, yes? They say yes. Did you see your card in the deck? Yes or no. Doesn't matter what they say. Maybe they did, maybe they didn't. Maybe they just didn't catch it yet. Now you know what the card is. You can do mind reading. What I want you to do is I just want you to think. Say yes or no as I ask you a question. Was it in your mind, was it red? Say yes or no. Was it black? Say yes or no. Say red again. And you're just reading them, right? And that's a great thing you can do, right? Say, which is lie detecting. I'm going to give you 2 options. In your mind, I want you to say red or black, whichever it is. Don't say it out loud. Just say in your mind, was the card red or black? Which one was it? I got a sense you said red. Okay, so red, there's 2 different kinds. There's hearts and there's diamonds. Okay, so in your mind, think hearts, diamonds. Hearts, you kind of laughed in the corner of your mouth a little when I said diamonds, right? So maybe, I'm going to go with diamonds. I could be totally off. All right, let's go with diamonds. Diamonds, what do we got? Diamonds, we got odds and evens. Let's see, odds. Let's see, they're jacks and queens and kings. That would be 11, 12, and 13. Aces, we'll just make that 1. Is that okay? So we got odds and evens. Pick one in your mind. Odds, evens. You said evens. You're trying to catch me out. I could tell you said even in your mind. I think I'm going to go with odd. No, you were right. It is even. You said it with so lack of confidence that it made me think that you were trying to play it off. No, it's definitely even. So even diamonds. Even diamonds. It's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. In your mind, I want you to spin a wheel. Spin the wheel, and in the wheel, I want you to see 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Like Price is Right. It's going to just go all the way around. It's going to stop at 1. It's going to go all the way around and stop right there at the 4. Is it the 4 of diamonds? Right, so that's knowing what your key card is, told you what the card is, and you could turn that into a 5-minute trick if you'd like. You can make it, like I said, a lie detector. You can spread the cards out face up. You know what the card is because now you've seen your key card. You can have them put their hand out. You can grab their hand, their wrist with their pulse. And say, just move your hand across, I'm just going to do it this way. Move your hand across the table. I'm just going to feel for your pulse. Think of what your card is. Just actually go back the other way. Yeah, your pulse is starting to go a little faster, isn't it? Yeah, I can feel it. Ooh, okay, right around here. And you just put their finger right down on one card, and it's their 4 diamonds. You use their pulse to find it. Man, there's a lot you can do. A lot you can do just knowing what that bottom card is. Right? So I show you a card. What do we got there? Yep. Give it a cut. I don't know what your card is. I do, but I don't know what your card is. I show them again. Hey, look, all the cards are different completely. No jokers. I now know that the card was the King of Clubs, which I knew earlier, but the key card, I looked for my 4 of Diamonds key card that was on the bottom. I now know it's the King of Clubs. Shuffle the deck. Give it to them. They can shuffle. You already know now it's the King of Clubs. You don't even need a key card any longer. It doesn't matter if it's right next to that 4 of Diamonds anymore. That King of Clubs is mixed completely in, right? Give it a shuffle. Move it around so that it's different. Just like that, right? Same thing, right? You now know it's the King of Clubs. King of Clubs is going to be in a different spot than it was before, and it's not going to be next to that 4 of Diamonds any longer. Yeah? So, what I want you to do is I want you to look through this deck without saying anything. I'm just going to watch you. You saw your card. I know you saw your card, but you didn't see your card until about this half. Yeah, I think your card is somewhere in this half. Because when you looked, you slowed down just for a second right in this area. Do it again. Just look. Look right here. Look right here. Look right here. Something's here. Something's here. Something's here. 4 cards. Let's see. Go ahead. Just look at these 4. Look at these 4. Look at these 4. What's one of these 2? Which one is it? Which one is it? Which one is it? Just say stop at any time. Stop. Right? All you're doing is playing jazz, baby. That's it. You know what the card is. You could turn around. You could write King of Diamonds on a piece of paper. Say, I made a prediction. This is what I think you're going to think later. You could get into another deck. They have the King of Diamonds in their mind. You get into another deck and say, you know what? I'm going to look for a card too. I'm going to commit this one as my card. Okay, so your card is lost in this deck. You already know because your key card. For the first time, say out in a loud, clear voice, what was your card? King of Clubs. It's funny, the same card I chose was the King of Clubs. Right? So there's a few different things you can do with that. You can do a bar bet, like I showed you earlier, or you can really do some astounding mentalism. Boy, I hope people aren't too miffed by me sharing that secret with you. But nonetheless, like I said, it's an old theory. Yeah, I think you guys would be okay with it. So yeah, key card. So that is the trick I'm comfortable showing you guys, because it's really up to what you do with it. If I were you, and this is a strong suggestion, I would suggest that you do it as the bar bet way, right? You know what it is. They pick a card, then you flick through, because it requires very little acting, very little drama, very little character, and then finally you find their card. You either find it or you do the whole I bet you the next card I turn over. Because it's also cheeky. You're not, it's weird to say this, but you're not a magician. I mean, unless there's any magicians watching. But you're not a magician. Right now, you're an actor playing the part of a magician. You're somebody that's just learning a trick doesn't make you a magician. Just like learning a song doesn't make you a musician, right? So just learning a trick doesn't make you a magician, but it does give you something to do, right? With magic. And hopefully that this showed you that you can really get you can give people a really good gift of, wow, that was amazing. Wow, I never looked at things that way before, or wow, that's different than some of the other arts that are out there right now. So, yeah, that's the key card principle. First published in 1876 in Modern Magic. It was still being used before that, but the first time it hit print was that I'm aware of was 1876 as a locator card. Practice. Give it the respect it deserves. That's kind of why I showed that you can do some really magical things with it, baffling things with it, and with the right framework, it can be very powerful. So don't toss it around neglectfully. You know, give it the respect that it deserves, and give me the respect I deserve for the fact that I did expose this to you and trust you that you're not just going to go out and flub something up, you know, and I'll take you seriously. If you want to try it, try it. If you don't, at least now you know some of the little things that people do to stay one step ahead. Anyway, yes, so it's been awesome hanging out with you all. I miss Gamut so much. I would kill to stand on their stage, and hopefully sometime in the future I get a chance to actually be up there with you guys in any capacity. This is a nice way of you welcoming us back into the fold while we're all stuck somewhere for COVID. And also, it's a great way for you, whoever's watching this, to support Gamut and to support the arts when you can't go see a performance right now. So I urge you and I beg you, if it's $1, if it's $5, $300, it doesn't matter. Literally, every little cent counts right now. You love these performers, you grew up with them, you love watching them, you respect them, and you trust them. We always put out great content. We have a great community and a great family, and all we ask in return is to help us keep doing this for you. Keep this family alive, allow us to keep being here for you, and when things do kick off and we can finally have a public gathering, we'll see you there. But until then, this is what we're doing. So click that donate button, try to throw anything you can. I know we really appreciate it. Yeah, so if you have any questions, comments, concerns, if you want to yell at me for exposing magic on the internet, you can find me on Erdnays1902. That's Erdnays1902 on Instagram. You can find me on Facebook as Chris Dixon, or you can just click my name here in the link. But yeah, thanks for letting me hang out with you guys. I hope everybody's doing great in these crazy times. And I love you, and I'll see you all later. Thanks for letting me make a little bit of magic with you. Laters.